you're a fish out of water, you're stuck on the reef. Spend some time with your buddy Keef. We'll be cranking out the beats, drinking some beers and eating sweets with your buddy Keef. You'll never regret the time you spend, the time you spend, the time you spend with your buddy Keef.
All right. How's it going, everyone? First time here on Twitch, but been streaming a few episodes on YouTube. It seems a little better. Really just gonna recap a beat I've worked on for like 6 days or so. Gonna drink a nice Yingling, and as the theme song suggests, I have a brownie. What we got here, let's see, let me switch. There we go. This is a completed project. I started on Monday, and let me put this on. Let's give it a listen.
Doctor gave me a relaxation cassette. When my blood pressure gets too high, the man on the tape tells me to say, "Serenity now!" Serenity now!
Joint's hard.
Serenity now! Serenity now! Serenity now!
Yeah. So I really dig that. And I was just gonna talk about a few things on how I came up with this. And basically, everything started with think it was this pattern. Yeah. And so, obviously, by itself, that doesn't really sound like much. But I designed this puppy in Serum here. It's really not much. Basic shapes, monster. Excuse me. This monster is in the Spectral Monster 3. Basic shapes is right here in analog, but these are standard Serum oscillator shapes you can use. I have both with 4 unison voices, and then each one of these, I'm using 3 LFOs here. The first one is just for the FM from B. So here in oscillator B, I have the volume all the way down. And basically that's on purpose so that this is modulating FM from B only into this. You don't actually hear this wave. It could play in unison with this other oscillator, but that's why I have the volume down. LFO 2 is making movement on the volume and the position of oscillator B. It's also over here on this comb filter. And LFO 3 looks crazy as shit. That is on Monster 3's wavetable position. I think that's it. Well, it says it's on 3 things, so I think it might be... Oh no. 1 thing, sorry. Then in my effects here, I guess I should talk about this. Let me go back. So, this LFO 2 is the one that gets the most modulation. And what that means is, if you don't know what any of this is, right here, I've basically told it how fast I want the sound to repeat. And the way I've drawn it here looks crazy, but it's like normal, a little faster, then back to normal, a little faster, back to normal, then gradually getting crazier. If we play it here, see what I mean? You can also see it happening if I bring Serum back up. Oops. This is what, sorry. And I was wrong. It's LFO 1. But I changed the speed of it. The main reason I went through this part is because I had created this whole thing and was toying around with this rate before I really made anything else, and I really liked how that was sounding. In the effects, to make it sound better, there's distortion, multiband compression, and or OTT, if you will, some reverb, and some EQ. The EQ is actually doing something kind of cool here. This frequency on each of these notches here. They just swing back and forth, basically. It adds, let's see. Just makes it sound a little meatier, I guess. And adds a smidge more movement. That's really the starting point. Once I had that, I brought in some drums here. Made the drum pattern. The drum pattern is like a longer one, but so it sounds like it changes or has, I guess, different hits in each section, but it's really just the same mostly. And then the next thing I had going here was this sample.
Serenity now! Serenity now!
I don't want to play too much of that in case I get in trouble, but that's from Seinfeld. That's Frank Costanza. If you haven't seen that episode, it's iconic. But it works perfect for this song. From there, let's see. I just started filling in a lot of stuff, and I actually played with a few different things. Let's zoom back out here. My intro was not this. I had just dragged some random crap that I had already like made in the meat of the song out here just so I could have like a placeholder of something. But this is what I worked on the other day. Basically made from here. Okay, that doesn't want to work. Oh yeah, here we go. I made all this, well, all of this mostly the first like day or so. But this did change a lot, so I brought in like 2 or 3 samples from Splice. They turned out to be really awesome. I chopped them up a little bit and changed the tempo so they would match. And then I put these cheater cymbals in. This is a crash cymbal, and then this chunk here, I don't know if you can see, there's actually a little split there, is this beginning part just like reversed. And I do that to create air and atmosphere and stuff, or noise in spots, and sometimes I replace it with actual noise. So I ended up doing that yesterday for the intro because these were sounding too metallic without a bunch of other sounds behind it. But the rest sound pretty good, so I just left those. I actually like them better because they hit a little harder. Get some more beer in here. The scratches aren't technically actual scratching, but it is all from the same samples that play in this part here, so.
Serenity now!
So yeah, the scratching is this chopped sample with some gross beat on top. Everybody likes some gross beat. What else do we got here? This part here, I just keep consolidating it, but this is the switch from So this part, again, is actually this part resampled at a like half speed effect. It's kind of common, but I don't really use it very often, but I just decided to give it a go here and it sounded pretty sweet, so I should probably check it on other samples a lot more. I built these ARPs and chords. When I built those, they actually were to originally match that crazy sludge stuff. Whoops. Hopefully I didn't break it. I don't know what. Oh yeah, no automation, duh. But yeah. The same with this. This intro is actually in the same key, but it's like major, I think. And then everything switches to minor from here for the rest of the song. I tried to switch back to this when I was like editing on like day 3 or 4, somewhere in the middle out here, and it sounded terrible. I think I ended a video thinking it sounded good, but I probably just listened too long. Gotta give your ears a break. There's a lot more crash cymbals than just these two. That's most of these pattern 2s up here. This is my drum pattern. The pattern 2s like start with 1. You can see they happen at like change ups. Boom. Boom. And then, yeah, there's just kind of a tape slappy thing here.
Serenity now!
I put this pause down at the end to make this a bit different, but it's not actually anywhere else, so. This has probably been a super boring stream. Just trying to get something here on Twitch, but yeah, I'm gonna put this track out, I think, in a couple days. I might have 3 or 4 actually, so there might be something cool soon. I don't know, I don't really care. Just want to keep making this stuff. But let's see, anything else special about this one? Not really. What other instruments did I use? Talk about some of those. There's a lot in this channel rack, but I did not actually use all this. I know I use these flexes though. I didn't want to like that, but I do. It's pretty sweet if you know what you need to just find it, play it, and toss it in there, so. Yeah, it's pretty much everything. Tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll be starting a new beat, completely fresh. So if you want to see how I actually got from A to B, then tune in for that. Let's play this joint through once more.
Doctor gave me a relaxation cassette. When my blood pressure gets too high, man on the tape tells me to say, "Serenity now!" Serenity now!
reminds me.
Serenity now!
Yeah, I did forget to mention this one part, so here we go. Those vocals sample is really awesome, and was actually something else, and I reversed it. Not that doesn't always sound good either, but in this case, it sounded really good, so pretty proud of that. Also, the fact that it goes so well with this other vocal sample. Who'd have thought? Just seeing if there's anything else worth chatting about. Computer atmosphere. That thing's kind of annoying by itself. There's like 3 serums, I think. I use Cthulhu here for some of the arpeggiating. And then let's see, what do I have side chained? Kick and snare. And serum's getting ducked. Atmosphere's getting ducked. This flux driver, what's that? Oh, I know what that is. It's like this, it's kind of an ARP. It's just like a pumping sound. Swore I heard the baby crying. Whatever. There were some sweet strings too. I played with those for a while to get them sounding right. Oh yeah. That stinking drum fill. Where does that happen? No, pattern 3. That that part, I played with like 3 or 4 pre-sampled fills, and they didn't sound good at all. And then I just made that one from scratch. So simple, effective. Made it myself. I'm lazy, so I'll cheat if I can. And yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be doing these at 10 p.m. pretty much every night, unless I can't. But I'll try to make that known. So if this is something you're interested in, please check in tomorrow at 10. Thanks. Peace.
If you're a fish out of water, you're stuck on the reef. Spend some time with your buddy Keef. We'll be cranking out the beats, drinking some beers and eating sweets with your buddy Keef. You'll never regret the time you spend, the time you spend, the time you spend with your buddy